Hey y'all, welcome back. Hope everyone's doing great. Today I wanted to showcase what is probably my favorite build on UOAlive, the Summoner. This is a build that is unique to this server only. It only works on UOAlive. The key feature of this build is that if you have this certain combination of skills, then you can summon more powerful creatures and more of them since they take less control slots. But you must have these skills and you must have absolutely zero necromancy or spirit speak. If you have any necromancy, even one little point, it won't work. And you eventually want all of these skills to 120. You don't have to start out with them all at 120. There is a progression. You get bonuses as you progress. But eventually, this is the goal. And there's only 6 skills, so you can get 120 in all of them without any plus skill items. So the first thing we want to always do is cast an arcane focus. Now your main summon is always going to be your Colossus. The other summons are supplemental and situational, but this guy is your powerhouse and he's meant to be your main tank. The Summoner is very much a glass cannon and this guy is your tank. When you have 120 skill, you're able to choose elemental Colossuses. Colossi? The physical Colossus is just your default Colossus. The Fire Colossus can cast spell weaving spells like Wildfire. The Energy Colossus has Magery spells. The Poison Colossus has Necromancy spells. And the Cold Colossus has Mysticism spells. So let's try an Energy Colossus. Look at that guy. Cool, huh? So, as you can see, he now only takes 3 out of 5 slots. That's a result of having all of these skills and no necromancy. Our other summons also have their control slots reduced, so I can cast Summon Creature and it only takes 2 slots. Summon Creature has been updated with more creatures. I have a chance to cast mounts. I even have a chance to cast exotic, rare, or legendary creatures. They can be controlled like a tamer pet. They can be dismissed. And they can teleport with you now. Another perk of having all of these skills to 120 is my elementals also have had their control slots reduced. And I can cast greater elementals, which are harder to dispel and last a little longer. I can also cast a more powerful animated weapon. Since all my skills are 120, he now also has armor piercing. So another perk, and something you want to always keep loaded, is Spell Trigger for Mysticism can store a Colossus. So you want to always keep one of these loaded on your hotbar because you are a glass cannon, and when your summons go down, you will die. So it's like 1 minute you feel so powerful with these powerful creatures at your command, and the next minute you're like killed by a couple of skeletons. True story, it's happened. Ah, he got me. Look at that. When you dismiss them, sometimes they're not happy about it. So another important tip is always use Arcane Empowerment before you cast your summon, and that will increase his resistance to being dispelled. Poisonous Colossus. Another perk, now on the buff bar, you can see how long your summons have left. You can also mouse over and see. You can also cast Gift of Renewal on your Colossus. Another really great perk is Ethereal Voyage now gives you a mana drain form similar to Wraith form. So I can choose. I can do Ethereal Voyage, which is just the standard spell weaving spell, or I can choose Ethereal Form. And now I'm basically in like the spell weaving version of Wraith form, and I'll have a mana drain. You also get -10 to physical, energy, poison, fire, and cold, so there is a downside. So how do you guys like my new castle? I like to sit here and listen to the running water. So nice. Oh, okay, back to the video. Another cool feature. If you don't want to have to choose every time, like you might be in a dangerous situation where this, you could be killed while you're sitting there trying to decide, go ahead and click this, and it will remember your selection. And you can type bracket clear RC to manually reset the Rising Colossus preference. So for mana recovery, we have a lot of options. We have Ethereal Voyage. We have Ethereal Form, which has a mana drain. There's also Nether Blast in the Mysticism Mastery. Or in the Magery Mastery, another incredibly powerful summoner-specific change is Ethereal Burst has had its cooldown reduced from 15 minutes to 5 minutes if you're the summoner. Whichever mastery you pick, you will have the Enchanted Summoning buff, which gives you increased difficulty for summoned pets to be dispelled, as well as increased hit points for summoned pets. I know this seems like a lot, you know, you've got your mysticism spells and your spell weaving spells and your magery spells, and it can seem very complicated, but really if I had to break it down into like my key spells, my most used spells, it would be Arcane Empowerment. Two things I always have on me is Healing Stone and Spell Trigger, so I always want these two rocks on me. Healing Stone is often overlooked, I think, but this is so powerful. If you get poisoned, if you hotkey this, it will instantly cure your poison. If you die, it's blessed, so it will stay with you, so whenever you get rezzed, you can instantly heal yourself. So it's a very powerful stone to have on you, and it will also allow me to heal myself and keep my mana for damage or for healing other people. Another often overlooked spell, and by overlooked, I mean overlooked by me, like until recently I overlooked this spell, is Cleansing Winds. This spell is amazing. Not only does it heal, it cures poison and removes curses. So if you're in a situation where you're healing someone who is constantly being poisoned, and if you're like me, like you'll cast an Art Cure, and by the time you get it ready to go, they don't need it anymore, they need to heal. And so you cast Heal, but by the time you get ready to heal, they're poisoned again. So this solves that problem. Just spam this over and over on someone who's getting poisoned a lot. So I like to play my summoner as a support character a lot. So some other spells that would be important for me to use is Gift of Life. And then obviously Art Cure, which is like an area poison cure. And Greater Heal, which is going to give you a much bigger heal. So when you need those big heals, Greater Heal. But if you're healing someone who's constantly getting poisoned too, Cleansing Winds is fantastic. And of course, Invisibility would be a very useful spell. When your pets go down, run and hide until you can cast that spell trigger and get your pets back up. So let's go see all this in action. Maybe we can go try a champ spawn. Let's start Despise with a bonus. Okay, before I do anything, I'm going to cast Arcane Empowerment before I cast my Colossus, if I remember. I try to remember. And Guardian. Let everyone know I'm popping Despise. And I'll get my second pet up. Start casting Gift of Life on everyone. I'm poisoned, use my Healing Stone. Boom. And then, of course, the good old Wildfire and Thunderstorm for big area of effect damage. To get my mana back, I like to use Nether Blast. You have to be facing the correct way. So whichever way your character is facing, that's the way the spell is going to go. So. I missed. Something else I can do for mana is let's go into Ethereal Form. Again, making good use of my healing stone. This is probably the place to hide. Kind of surrounded. It's getting a little sketchy. If you arcane empower your heals, they will be very effective on tamer pets as well as summons. I know my Colossus is about to go, so I need to get somewhere safe where I can queue him up. There we go. Yee! Run! Yee! Hide! Invis! Oh, healing stone. Healing stone saved me. Now that people are getting poisoned, I'm going to start making really good use of cleansing winds. If you want to do big damage, go into Reaper form. And that's it for the Summoner. I think it's an amazing class. I think they did a great job on it. This has definitely become one of my main characters that I play. It's a really fun play style, and I love it. So be sure to check out the guide on the Discord. It has a lot more information, including gear and stat goals. So I'll see y'all next time. Bye!